Very pumped to be joined by a sophomore at the University of Michigan who played in 67 games in the USHL for the Chicago Steel, putting up 85 points, a first round draft pick to the Montreal Canadiens, who just got back to the World Juniors. Michael Hage, what's going on? How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm good. I'm good. You're a popular guy these days. You're doing sit down interviews with Jeff Marek. Everyone's talking about you in the media. What's it been like since coming back from the World Juniors?
Yeah, it's been fun. I'm just happy to be back here, and yeah, excited to see my teammates, some of my best friends. Just hear what they thought of the tournament and stuff. But yeah, just happy to be back.
So I do want to start from the beginning with you and how you kind of got to the USHL. You're a GTHL guy from the Toronto area. When did the Chicago Steel first hit your radar, and what like attracted you to the team and the league?
Yeah, I think they probably first reached out to me late in my U16 year, and I didn't think too much of it at the time. Went down to skate for a week and just kind of check it out, and I just remember really loving like what they had going on there. Just the coaching staff, the facilities, and just having the option to kind of go to school after that was something that I wanted to do. Just to have all my options and all my doors open. And yeah, I think right away seeing that team, I remember when I skated there that U16 year, like I knew right away it was something I wanted to be a part of, and just the direction that organization was going, and how many good players they had produced. It was something that I really wanted to be a part of.
I guess what about those skates really stood out? Was it like a pace of play thing? Anything in particular?
Yeah, I mean, like pace of play, just the skill level. I mean, now that I look at it, like there's a lot of guys that were on that team that are really, really good college players or like in the NHL. So
Yeah.
I mean, I remember like Jackson Blake, Adam Fantilli, Livanovich, like list kind of goes on. Like there's Sam Lipkin. There was just a lot of good players on that team, and I just Jaden Perron, one of my teammates right now, and just kind of talking to those guys about like how they had like their experience so far was a big part of it, and all of them had good things to say.
And I saw they called you Viper. Is that something that stuck, or was that something you picked up just in Chicago?
Yeah, it was more just a Chicago thing. I think Mark Citron, our announcer, kind of had nicknames for all the guys, and that was the one that stuck for me.
Yeah, I saw every time you made a play in the offensive zone and say Hage slithers in, and it's like all these snake references. I was wondering where that came from, but you mentioned some of those guys that you played with or skated with in Chicago, Macklin Celebrini being one of them. I know you only played 13 games that first year, but what was it like with him every day?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like seeing him as a 16-year-old, and like now looking back at it, like I understand why he's having the success he's having. I think I saw it from kind of a mile away, and so did everyone else that was on that ice every day. Just like the hardest worker I've ever seen. Like how mature he was about doing all the little things right at 16 years old was unbelievable. And then, I mean, the rest of his game speaks for himself. He's just elite at everything. So it was really fun to, watch him and learn from him even when I was out. To this day, you could kind of still look back and think about those habits he had. And I mean, if guys like that are doing it, there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing it.
So was that your 16 year also?
Yeah,
that was 16 at the time too, right?
Yeah.
So what was that year like for you? I imagine that was the first time you moved away from home. You got hurt, like you mentioned. Was that like the most adversity you've probably faced in your career so far?
Yeah, I mean, like it was hard for sure. I'd gone out in training camp right away. Like I hurt my shoulder and had to go back for surgery. So got the surgery, was home for a little bit, and then I'd come back to finish kind of the last 3 months of my rehab there and try to work back towards playing. But it wasn't easy. Like you're trying to step into a new league, and it's a new level, and you're coming back from injury. So it's kind of just two things to worry about. Stepping into junior is one thing, but then coming back from an injury is another. So it wasn't easy, but I think that the staff and everyone there kind of did a great job just putting me a spot where, when I did come back, I was getting a great opportunity and just easy to get my confidence back.
And balancing school too, right? Were you in a public school or were you taking online classes?
No, I was online. I was online when I was in Chicago.
Oh, nice. So what did the day look like for you? I mean, I imagine that's a wild day for a 16-year-old.
Yeah, we would usually go to the rink in the morning, kind of do all our stuff then, skills in the morning or whatever it was, go eat lunch, workout maybe, and then practice would be at like 1 or 2 o'clock, and finish practice and then head home. And it was kind of just, you got to do whatever school you got to do to finish that year on time. But you could do it however you wanted. If you wanted to do a lot of work at once, kind of spread it out.
What was the biggest thing you think you learned about yourself in that first year? Because you came back and exploded, right? You finished fourth in points in the league, and you put up 75 points, 54 games. I imagine that summer you must have focused on one thing in particular, or was it just simple as getting bigger and stronger?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of things, like just trying to continue to build my game, especially after coming back, just playing 13 games. Like, was still trying to catch up physically, and then trying to continue to work on kind of everything I feel like are my strengths. And yeah, I just felt confident going into that season. And yeah, it kind of started to click for our group in the second half. And I mean, it helps when the team is kind of rolling. Everyone starts to roll. So I was playing on a pretty good line with Mick Thompson and Charlie Major. So that was kind of a big part of it as well.
What was Thompson's nickname again? I heard it earlier today, but I'm blanking on it.
Turbo.
Turbo, that's right.
Yeah.
I called one of his Harvard games like 2 years
Yeah.
ago. I remember calling him Turbo.
Yeah.
And your skating obviously is something that really stands out about your game, right? But a lot of these younger kids, everyone can do like a mohawk and 10-2 now, and every kid, is so good on their edges. Was skating always your biggest strength, or was that something you picked up along the way in juniors?
I'd say it's probably always been my biggest strength. It was something I put a lot of time in when I was a kid, and looking back at it, like I probably did more skating than I ever wanted to when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And, but it does help. I mean, it's probably the biggest part of the game, and it's the biggest advantage you could have on people if you're a really good skater. So it's something I worked on from a young age, and something I still like take a lot of pride in trying to get better at every summer. So yeah, it's a big part of who I am as a player.
Were you playing other sports too, or no?
Not really, just hockey growing up, kind of.
Just hockey. Okay. And that year you get drafted in the first round out of the USHL. Was that something you were expecting? Like, did you think you'd be a first rounder? Obviously, I'm sure you hoped for it, but did you think it was realistic until it got closer?
Yeah. I mean, I think like going into the year, I mean, even going into my first year when I got hurt, like I was just very confident in myself as a player, and getting hurt kind of is maybe what I want to say pushed me back a little bit, like just development wise. But I felt like the second half, I kind of just found my game again. And I mean, I was confident going into that second year that like I could be a first round pick, and I just kind of got to prove it. But like in my heart and like in my brain, there's no reason why it wasn't possible. And yeah, I just felt like I did a good job kind of being more consistent that second half and kind of proving it to everyone.
And what was it like stepping into Michigan, knowing that there's, tons of other NHL draft picks around you? I'm sure, that's something that you guys breed, right? It's the competitiveness every day going up against each other. I had a bunch of buddies who played at Michigan. I know what it's like from everything I've heard. But stepping on campus, I imagine that was like one of the coolest feelings ever.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's so fun, just like the best time of your life. I mean, you get to spend every day with your best friends basically, and you just get to go to the rink and compete. And I mean, practice is probably the hardest part of the day. Like these guys are all so good out there that like creating offenses practice is sometimes harder than games is, just because like how good these guys are. And I think that's the best thing about it, is just the competitiveness within our group from the years I've been here is what makes guys so much better every year. So yeah, it's really special.
What was the biggest culture shock for you about the school, like outside of hockey? Because I mean, I live in New York City, and there is a massive Michigan alumni here. Like every Saturday, all the bars are packed for the football games. Like, I think Michigan is probably one of the biggest, almost cults you could find as far as colleges go.
Yeah, I would say like that's probably one of the biggest parts, just like how big of a brand it is. I don't think you understand until you play here, and then anywhere you are, you're wearing Michigan stuff. Like there's people walking around telling you go blue and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty special to kind of understand how big of a brand it is. And what it means to the alumni, what it means to people that care about the school. So yeah, it's special. You're playing for something bigger than yourself, and I mean, just all the stuff you get to do on campus as well is pretty special. Like going to football games with the boys, and just hanging out. Those times before the season are some of like the best times of the year. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
This is gonna be a horribly worded question, but did you have like a wow, college is so sick moment?
Um, I would say like I don't know. It's hard to say. Probably that first week when you first get here, like just welcome week is a fun week. Like I mean, the guys that have gone here in the past kind of know, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's just a lot of fun. You meet a lot of new people. Like for us, we get to go on the ice. We just kind of play 3-on-3 in the mornings and then hang out all day, go to a football game.
You walk in the room, all the clothes and sneakers are all there, right, in your
Yeah,
stall?
like all the
Yeah.
stuff you get. Moving into the dorms as a freshman, I remember now the freshmen are all in apartments, but yeah, it's just a big culture shock. Like it's very different. You're living on your own, so I
Mhm.
remember that being one of the most fun weeks.
What was the craziest clothing item or, like, accessory that you got with Michigan on it?
Um, I feel like probably just like track suits. I would say we get like we just get a
Mhm.
lot of clothes, and I just remember being like, I mean, like the first like little Gitch bag we got was probably like more clothes than I'd ever got from a team throughout a whole year, which is kind of crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would say just all the clothes, like the track suits, shoes. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So back to hockey just a little bit. The transition from the USHL to college, was that easier than you expected it to be?
I mean, I would say it was probably it's hard. Like I would say it was as I don't even know how to word it. Like it was as hard as I thought it would be, but it
Mhm.
wasn't like as bad as I would say the jump probably from I would assume like college to the NHL is bigger, but like it's still a big jump. Junior hockey is just different. Like I feel like there's more room out there, and once I came to college, like you start to understand like how playing against older guys and guys that are so strong and like 23, 24 years old, like there's a lot less room, and you just have a lot less time and space. But yeah, it was definitely a jump, but I felt like I adjusted pretty well, pretty quickly.
Mhm, and I know Adam Valentini is, one of your teammates this year, played in Chicago last year. I know you guys didn't cross over there, but is there, like, almost like that Michigan alumni feel where you look after someone who went to Michigan? Did you have that with him, when he stepped in this year?
Yeah, I mean, like I've known him. He played with my little brother in minor
Oh,
hockey.
wow.
I've known him for a long time now, and I've seen him since he was like 7 or 8 years old. So we kind of had that relationship, and like knowing how hard it was and how nervous I was, like as a freshman coming in
Mhm.
for the first time. Like you try to make guys like that feel welcome. Like coming in at 17 is not easy. Coming into a room with, you know, 20 to 24-year-old guys, like it's not easy. And I think he's just done a great job. And the older guys have been a big part of that, just like welcoming all the freshmen.
What were you most nervous about when you walked into that locker room for the first time? It is different, like, it is bizarre, like, knowing that you're 17 with a 24-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just it's like anywhere. I mean, it's older guys, so you're kind of nervous about like how the relationships are going to be, but at the same time, just like how big the jump's going to be. Like you just never know. Like you're not sure like what it's like, and you really want to do well right away and kind of build that trust with your teammates and the coaching staff and stuff. So that was probably the biggest thing, just it being a new level and a new environment. So there's a lot of stuff you kind of have to get used to.
I don't wanna ask you too much about World Juniors. I know, it didn't go the way you want, but, what was it like for you just being under that spotlight? Is that something that you thrive under? I mean, you tore it up, so I imagine you loved, all the attention and stuff, but, was that, like, the first time you really felt like there's that many eyeballs on you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's, I mean, really another time in the year where, you know, that many people from your country and from other countries are watching, you know, junior hockey and especially just one game. So, yeah, it was really cool just to kind of have that opportunity to play for your country and knowing how many people are watching back home and just getting the texts after games and stuff and just having that opportunity was really special, and it was something that I was excited for before the tournament started, and I just wanted to kind of show the type of player I am, and yeah, I felt like I tried to do that best of my ability.
How hard was it to sleep after that OT goal? You must have been
Yeah,
jacked up.
yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I mean, like, was just nervous after they scored that goal a little bit. I think the bench was a little bit deflated, like just like, oh boy, like here we go. And they kind of had guys coming by our bench being like, oh, and we were like it was just a game where we felt like we were all over them the whole night and nothing was going in. And then next thing you know, you're in overtime. So I was happy to be able to get that one done.
Yeah, those are the most frustrating games you could ever play in.
Yeah.
But last one for you. And again, I appreciate your time so much here. But any individual goals that you have set for the rest of the season? I know you're coming up on your point total from last year, a couple points away. But anything you write down in a journal? Maybe I know a lot of guys do that.
Not really. I think just kind of in my own head, like I want to continue to. I mean, never really numbers things with me. Just kind of want to continue to be the best version of myself and continue to try to create more and more every single night. And that just ties into how bad I want to win with this group. So, I mean, the goal is to win a national championship, Big Ten title. And yeah, it's not too far away right now. So, just want to try to keep this thing rolling with these guys. I feel like we got a special group. So, biggest goal is just to win.
Get back to Vegas, right? Nothing
Yes,
beats
sir.
a Frozen Four in Vegas. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Michael. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.